That's so funny how people think differently. My first thought was, has anyone ever given you a picture of their butt? Put their
Most
butt
people
on a
want
cake.
funny words, like bad words, I guess, put on cakes. Like, and they're always so hush hush about it. Like, can you put happy birthday, bitch? And I'm like, sure. And it's like, yeah, can you put like penis breath on this? I'm like, sure.
Sure.
That's what you
Whatever you
want.
want.
I'm like, alrighty then, here you go. Happy birthday,
Oh,
penis breath.
man.
Excellence.
Hey guys, my name is Katie Enterkin, and I'm on a mission to help humans become the best possible versions of themselves and to unveil what I like to call the beautiful beast that already lives inside us all. And welcome to the podcast about everything and a little bit of nothing. I've had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who have been through a plethora, oh, I love big words, a myriad of experiences just being a human and existing. These are real conversations with real people, getting to know each other, sharing stories that make us cry, and occasionally pee our pants with laughter. We talk about all kinds of life stuff: parenthood, business, life goals, fitness, chasing your dreams, and yes, even some animal noises are involved. For more information, keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. What's up? Welcome back to the podcast. In this episode, I hung out with yet another dear friend of mine from childhood, Amanda McNabb. You guys, this chick cracks me up every freaking day with the content she posts, and if you know me, you know that laughing is my favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. So, we talked about her experience with trying to find a job after culinary school, applying anywhere and everywhere, including places as far as Alaska. We talked about sarcasm and BSed for a little bit, and then we got into the juicy stuff. We shared our stories about weight obsession, moralizing food, and throwing away our bathroom scales. Hell yes. If you're not fond of the BSing and you want to skip straight to the juice, it begins at about 35 minutes in-ish. As always, I hope something lands with you today. I hope something you hear tugs on your heartstrings, and or I hope you laugh.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and Chase Daniels and Elizabeth Breed, I am with Amanda McNabb. Her name's Amanda McNabb, but yeah, that's how we roll. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I
haven't
thank you for having
seen
me.
you or talked to you in like 28 years. Oh, wait, we're not that old. Hold on. Tell me where you've been. What have you been doing all these years? Tell me about chef school. Tell me about the Grand Canyon. Tell me about Arizona. Okay, go.
Okay, go. And go.
And go.
Well, yes, all these things. This is the second time I've lived in Arizona. The first time was when I went to culinary school, and that was fun and less expensive than living in California. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, I moved out here for culinary school, which was in Phoenix, and I hated it. I said I would never ever move back to the state again. Like, I was in
You hated
tears.
Arizona, or you hated culinary school?
I hated Phoenix.
Okay.
And I just lumped all of Arizona into I hate going to school. I loved culinary school. And I loved the people that I met in culinary school. Actually, two of my very good friends I went to culinary school with, one lives up here now and one is in the process of moving up here. So that's exciting for me who has no friends.
That's cool.
I'm like, I have no friends. Please move up here.
You have internet friends.
I do. I have internet friends. And I appreciate every single one of them.
Aw.
But yeah,
I know what you mean, like human interaction.
Yeah, I'm like, I have no friends. But yeah, I loved culinary school because I've always wanted to go to culinary school or be a cook ever since I was a kid. So I had that in my mind since I was 12 years old. And then
Nice.
when I could afford it, my grandparents helped me out with that. I moved to Phoenix, lived there for 3 years, and said, I hate Arizona. I'm never going to move back. And so I moved back to California, where I didn't have a job for, a few years. I was a live-in nanny for my aunt and my uncle. So I did that, worked at Bevmo, worked at a few other retail places, and then lost my job again when Fresh and Easy closed down. So there I was back without a job for almost a year when I just started applying anywhere. I was like, I applied for places in Alaska, in Maine, in Florida,
Wow.
and finally got a call. First, I got a call for Denali State Park, which is in Alaska. And they said, oh, do you have a car or would you be flying? I said, well, I have a car, so I drive. And then the next question they asked me was, well, do you have a passport? I said, not right now, but I can get one, and never heard back from them. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not moving there. And
I'm guessing it's because you have to drive through Canada.
Yeah, because you have to drive through Canada, so you'd have to have your passport to get there.
Okay.
So they're like, well, that's not going to work. But yeah, so I was looking forward to Denali and then never got a call back from them. And I was just applying, like I said, anywhere that I could. I said, you know what? I might as well. I don't have a job. If I can get one, I can get one. And got a call back from the Grand Canyon saying, be here in 2 weeks. That's when you start. My mom was in vacation actually at another park. She was in Yosemite National Park. And she's a funny story about that. She had to come back early from their vacation because she broke her foot.
Oh.
So she jumped over like a little stream and slipped and broke her foot. So they had to come back like maybe 4 or 5 days early. And I text my mom saying, hey, I got a job. I'm moving to Arizona. And she goes, haha, you're funny. And I said, no, I'm really moving to Arizona. Like, I'll tell you all about it when I get here. She goes, shut up. You're joking with me. You hate that place. And so, she walks in the door a few days later and I say, oh, she goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm packing my bags. She goes, why? What are you doing? I said, I told you I'm moving to Arizona. Like, why didn't you believe me? She's like, stop lying to me. This is not a funny joke. And so I told her, here's my email saying report to work in 2 weeks. She's like, what the heck is going on?
Oh, yeah.
Grand Canyon. And I was there for 4 years. Was a baker at it's called the El Tavar Hotel, one of their fancy ones. And it was built by Fred Harvey. Fun fact if people like fun, weird facts. So Fred Harvey built all these houses, or the Harvey House Company built all these hotels along, from the East Coast to the West Coast, all up and down, and they're very prestigious kind of houses now because they're historical, which is kind of cool. So not everyone can say that they worked at a national park and for the Harvey House Foundation. So I get to.
That's really cool. So one thing I didn't know is that it's past tense. You don't work there anymore?
Past tense, yes.
Shit. I always had it in my head. I told my husband tonight, too. I was like, remember that friend I told you about that works at the Grand Canyon? That's what I'm interviewing. And he's like, oh. So, ladies and gentlemen, she no longer works there.
Surprise! Well, I did go back there. I did go back there a few times, for my 6-month stints. I would go back and forth. But the majority of the time I worked there for 3.5 years the first time. And then 8 or 9 months the second time. And then it's just really tiring because it's a 2.5 hour drive to where my dad lives, my dad and my stepmom. So I was doing that every weekend to come down here and visit them. And then the closest place for groceries was an 1.5 hour drive in what we called civilization, just to have fun, like a girls' day. Yeah. You'd have to drive, an 1.5 hours to go to the Walmart and have dinner if you wanted to. So it's just hard. It kind of wears on you. But there's people there that worked for still work there. They've been working there for 45 and 50 years. It's been their one and only job. And they've had now have grandkids living there and growing up.
That's really cool.
There. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing is cool. And I still have friends that live up there, and I visit them often, which is nice because, you can get into the park and you have a place to stay. You don't have to pay for an expensive hotel room. So there's some perks. I like that. So yeah, I quit there in 2016 the first time, and then went back in 2018 for the second time. So now I've been working at a bunch of different restaurants in Prescott, which is now where I currently live, and with my dad and my stepmom and my youngest brother and my youngest sister.
Okay.
So yeah, the whole family's in town here. And I worked at a few restaurants. Right now I'm working at Walmart again, and I'm doing cake decorating.
I was going to say, you post a lot of really cool pictures of sweet looking treats on your Instagram. So I always drool over those. I'm like, that's cool. So I wanted to be said that some of my most fond memories are in Chappie's class. I laugh so hard. But it's when it's quiet time in class, you're not supposed to laugh. So you're like shaking violently and not making any sound.
Right? You have the spit coming out of the sides of your mouth because you can't hold it in.
Yeah.
I remember when he would kick your desk when anyone would fall asleep.
Yes.
And he used to yell at people don't you dare wake him up before I get over there.
I remember that. It was like this fear he instilled in us, and really, we didn't really ever get in trouble. He just kicked our desk and woke us up.
Yeah.
To my defense, his class was right after lunch, and I'm known for eating a lot. So
right. And we just like to eat.
I love eating. My favorite. Eating and laughing. Okay, laughing goes first and then eating.
Eating, yeah.
I don't know. It's close. So, yeah. When did you start, or maybe it's always been in you, to have this nice little spunky side of sarcasm? With all of your posts, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. You make me laugh every day. I love it so much.
I think it's always been in me, but now, with the lovely abundance of internet that we have, it's just easier to share these things, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and I love it. Anything that's sarcastic or snarky and funny and absurd and obscene sometimes, I'm like, yeah, that's funny. I'm going to share it. I don't care what you think. I think it's funny. Somebody will laugh at this.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah, I always try to share them with my husband, and then I forget that your account is private. So
you're like,
it's a private account. And then I just screenshot it and share. So,
That's fine.
Yeah.
I do that because,
but yeah,
you
with
would
the
get
internet,
all those weirdos
go ahead.
that would just like your stuff. I'm like, I don't know you. Go away.
Yeah.
So I just change it to private.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm like, come all ye weirdos. Join my team.
Or you get the spammers that would just want you to click on their things. I'm like, I don't know you right now.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
And it's funny. It's funny because I was kind of suckered into a direct sales company that I won't say any names. No, it's not Mary Kay. I'm still with Mary Kay, and I love Mary Kay. I love Mary Kay. But it was another direct sales company, and they basically taught me how to automate responses and automate comments. So I wouldn't even be on Instagram, and they taught me how to be commenting on people's stuff and liking their. I'm like, this is icky. I don't like it. So now it's always based off of hashtags. So I can kind of tell when somebody's automated response, and I'm like,
yeah, you're like, I know what
post
that is.
I'll post one of my quote cards and somebody will say, "What a great picture of you." I'm like,
Like, oh, really?
yeah.
Like, okay,
So,
robot.
Yeah. So I got out of that really fast. It was icky. You know that when you get that icky feeling and you're like, oh, fuck.
You're like, this isn't right. I'm not supposed to be
Yeah.
doing this.
Exactly. I don't even remember how I brought that up, but
You're like,
hi,
yeah.
Internet.
Right? Hello, internets.
So what other kind of juice do you have? Bless you.
Excuse me. Man, I'm tired today because we went out last night for my friend's birthday. And she wanted to go out. And then she woke up and she goes, "Who drove us home?" I said, "A friend did. Our friends that we know. Don't worry. It's all right." She's like, "Okay." She's like, "I don't remember."
Did you get wasted, man?
She did. I didn't. I was just tired because I'd been up since 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
a nap. I'm like, no nap time. That's no fun when you have to go out.
I'm pretty sure it was you that posted it. It's like me in my teens.
Oh,
about music. Yeah. How did that go? It was so funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
Hearing a jam. Oh, this is my jam on the radio.
Yeah, right. When you're
Oh, okay. It was me in my teens. This radio station's playing my jam. Me in my 20s. This, what was it? Hold on.
I think it was like club or something.
Oh, yeah. This club is playing my jams. Me in my 30s. This grocery store is playing my jams. It's so true, though.
It is, and you're like dancing with your
every time I walk in the Stater Brothers, it's like Michelle Branch, Backstreet Boys.
Right? You're like, yeah.
From the 90s.
Yeah, some days funny. Like the Walmart will play music, but it's on like a 2-day track where the first day you'll get it, and then the second day you'll get the same ones, like the exact same songs at the exact same times. And then the next 2 days and the next 2 days, and then they'll switch it up the next week. So yeah, you just get 2 days of the same thing.
Joy.
So you'll sit there and you'll dance because you're like, oh, this is what they're going to say next. This is what they're going to do next. So then sometimes I'll just like, I think I was telling you, I would put in my headphones and just like listen to my other podcast or you or just whatever I have on, my iTunes. And I'll be walking around just kind of dancing. And when I'm listening to my podcast, I'll talk to myself. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's dumb. Or what? They really did that, like, because I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts. I'm like, that did not happen. That's not a real thing. And these people are like looking at me like, what is this crazy girl doing? I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just listening to crime and killers.
Just listening to crime and murders. People.
Yeah. Like, this guy just got killed in this really horrible way, and it's not true. It can't be true. But yeah, I'll just walk around. And when you were talking about, with Chase, I think it was with, Chappie and all them, it's like, it's Mr. Chapman. 5th period, 9th grade English, Katie. Walking around like, come on, guys.
Well, it was him and then I don't know if you remember Heather. I was in science class with her with Mr. Wagner, and we called him Waggy. So it was Waggy and Chappie. And I couldn't remember. And honestly, having a baby steals your brain, and some nights it's worse than others. And I'm just like, today I put on what's it called? A bra.
You look at that thing that you wear.
I can't remember the word. Yeah, like holds your boobs up.
Right? Keeps them in place a little bit.
That was a really weird example. You meant what I knew, right?
Yeah. You that thing with the thing and the holes in it.
The over-the-shoulder boulder holder. So what else? What else about Amanda McNabb?
What else
that the world needs to know? The world being my mom.
My mom and, the other people that I bullied into listening to this podcast. I'm like, you'll like it. Listen to her. Because she's my best friend from the 5th grade.
Yeah. I do have a handful of people, though, that listen, like friends and family that listen to every single episode, and I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm looking at my doorknob as I say that. But I do. Like, I still joke around that I have one listener, and it's my mom, but I have, like, I think it's like 5 or 6 friends that listen to all of them, so
Nice.
that makes me so happy. Thank you.
Yeah. See, I tell people, I'm like, you better listen to it because you'll like it. I know you will. So you have to listen to it, and you have to tell me about it. I'm going to quiz you.
Yeah. And it's crazy because all the episodes are so different.
Yeah.
Like, there's the episodes where I'm, bullshitting with old friends, and then there's episodes about, Lizzie's episode was, a little bit of both. I don't know if you listened to it.
Yeah, I did.
And then I have, like, motivational fireballs. That today was a recovering drug addict, and so some of them are super fun and serious, and some of them are just like, where is this going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is the point of this episode? Well, that's why I say it's about everything and nothing.
And that's why I like your
nothing.
Your podcast, because it's just so different, and it can hit home with anyone and everyone. And that's why I've been telling my friends, I said, hey, I'm not just doing this to get my friends, likes or, followers or anything. I said, she has something for everybody. And I'm telling you this because the stories that they've told me, I know that it would either hit home with them or they would learn something from it, or, especially Lizzie's episode. I've had a few friends that would very much get some kind of, I don't know if peace is the right word, but, a resounding, that's me. I've had that too.
Yeah.
And I've been through that, and I still have hurt, and I still have pain from it.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm not telling them because like, oh, do this because it's my friend. I'm telling them because no, you'll get it and you'll listen to it. And there is the very dramatic and kind of down episodes, but then there's very happy ones where you have good memories and you're just trying to tell people this is my life and it's okay to be, whoever you are, and you still learn from it. Because I learned stuff from Lizzie's, I learned stuff from Chase, I've learned stuff from, you were talking about the girl who had hurt her back, and I can't remember her name right now.
Elena.
And I'm like, I just like
her back, shaving her legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
insane.
You learn stuff from them. I'm like, oh man, that's crazy that happened. And just people she has such a good attitude about life. And, she's like, this is what happened and I'm going on with my life.
Yeah.
So you just learn. I think it's a very positive thing that you're doing with this. And that's why I like listening to it, because it's so different, but you still can learn something from it, even if it's a little thing that you're learning, or, saying, oh yeah, I've been through that too, or I'm going through that right now. You still have something that you can kind of resonate with through your podcast. It's not just something that's boring that you're telling someone the facts, or this is what you should do and this is what you shouldn't do. Yeah. It's just a story people are telling, saying, this is my life and I hope you like it and you learn something.
Yeah. That's the whole point, is like, we're all human, but we're also different. We all have different stories. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't pay her to say anything. Not an ad.
Yeah, this is not an ad, people. and I don't really force my friends to listen to it, but I want them to.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, what is your fondest memory from, I guess, our Moore Park High days? Because I was only there 1 year.
Yeah, you're only there 9th grade. But I do remember we'd always sit like on that little grassy hill kind of right in front of class. And it was you and me and Austin and Heather, and sometimes Jackie and Diana would come sit with us. Remember them? Yeah, they would. And I remember just kind of being silly with you guys in front of, at lunch.
Yeah. Were
That's
you
what
there
I miss,
the day that we all devoured a cake in 5 minutes?
I think so.
Maybe.
Sounds like something we would usually do.
Yeah. Somebody brought Heather and I a birthday cake because our birthdays are so close together. And it was just it wasn't small.
It's like, here we go.
We all had forks, and the cake was gone in 5 minutes because we all were just like,
Just like, ah. Just chowing down on cake.
yeah.
You know what's funny is I think my favorite memory, I guess, of us was the day we probably first met, which was in 5th grade at Flory.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Ashley and Amber, the twins.
Oh, yeah.
So they were sitting in the office because they had gotten in trouble. And this was like probably like the 3rd or 4th day of school. And they're sitting in there and they're like, oh, yeah, we're in trouble. And the ladies, you know, behind the desk, you're not supposed to be talking, you're in trouble. They're like, okay. They're like, hey, new girl, what recess do you have? And I said, oh, I'm on first recess. And they're like, okay, meet us over by the swings because you're going to meet our friends and you'll like them. So I was like, okay.
Meet us by the swings.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you have to meet us by the swings. That's where we always meet. So I'm like, okay, like, cool. So like I found them and they're like, yeah, these are our friends. And I was like, okay. And they're like, this is Katie and this is Earl and this is Lizzie. And we're all going to be friends. And so I was like, okay, that's neat. And then ever since then we were friends.
There you go. Sometimes
and it was so funny because they're like, hey, new
swing
girl.
sets.
You're right, yeah, swing sets and hey, new girl.
Meet us by the swings.
Or else.
You're going to have friends whether you like it or not.
You're going to like us and you're going to like us good.
I don't know what voice that is. But yeah. You know, one thing that's funny, after recording a whole bunch of these, when I first started editing them, I was like, holy crap, do I really sound like a little girl? Because in my head, I don't. Like, even right now as I'm talking, but then I'll go back and edit this.
To me, it sounds like you just did it. Hi, Amanda. Yeah.
You know, I heard something that you hear yourself an octave lower in your own head, like because the way that your ears are, like your ear canal or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. So you always hear yourself an octave, half an octave to an octave lower or something in your own head. So that's why when you hear recordings of yourself, it's always higher and you're like, I don't sound like that. That's weird.
I sound like a 5th grader.
Yeah, you're like, hey there.
Hey, guys.
I like unicorns and butterflies.
Yes. Okay, I have a question for you because I started thinking about cake.
Yeah.
ADD, ladies and gentlemen. What's your favorite cake or cupcakes that you've ever made? Like design, or maybe design and flavor wise.
Design and flavor wise?
And I'm going to drool when you tell me.
Like recently or an all time?
All time.
All time. I think, I know it's probably like a really silly one, but my mom's neighbor wanted this spider cake for her son.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, spider cake? I'm like Spider-Man? Is that what he means? And she's like, no, he wants a spider cake. So I'm like, okay, like like he wants it to look like a spider. Not a spider drawn on it, a spider. Yeah, a spider cake. So I'm like, okay, cool. How am I going to do this? So I took a 9-inch pan, which is just like a regular round pan, filled up part of the batter, and the rest of it, I left it in our metal bowl. Mm-hmm. So it was like a dome, because I didn't have a dome besides a bundt cake. And I'm like, well, he can't have a hole in it. So
it's a hole in spider.
There's a hole in this cake. If you get that reference, great. This cake has a hole in it.
I don't.
Oh, it's from my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh,
that?
I have. Yeah. How come I still didn't get that? I love that movie.
Yeah, the mom, the white mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's a bundt. It's a bundt.
And then she puts the flour in it. Better.
I remember now. The face she makes. Anyway, right? Like I said, I'm a horrible interrupter. Go ahead.
That's fine. And so, yeah, I was like, all right. And I was like, I hope this works. I'm going to put it in the oven. And it did. So he was a purple spider with grape licorice legs. And he had Oreo cookie eyes. And like a little mohawk of kind of fuzz going down the back of him. I thought he was real cool.
That's cool.
It's probably like the stupidest cake you've ever seen. If it's on the internet too, I think on the Facebook.
The Facebook.
And I love it because it's like really
later.
cute. It's like, oh, where's the spider cake? But then, yeah, I guess there's that one. And I think if I had to pick a recent one, I like doing the 2-tiered wedding cakes, but I also hate them because they just take forever to do. And people interrupt you because you have to go and help them find the bread. So you're like, okay, now I have to come back to this thing, and now it's dried out. So it's tedious because it takes so long and you have to kind of stop and start. But there's a really pretty one I did too that was really white, and I like to put like the sprinkles and the sparkly stuff on them. So anything that has like sparklies on it or diamonds, I call the diamond sparklies. I'm like, I need sparklies.
Yeah.
So I like that because it's shiny.
Shiny.
You know, shiny objects.
Pretty. Yeah.
Right. Ooh, shiny. So I like that. My favorite flavor is probably a tie between chai. I just did chai frosting for my friend's cake. And then I always like to do Bailey's, a Bailey's Guinness cake during the holidays. So those are probably my favorite. Well, I put alcohol in it, but it usually cooks out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you can drink and eat the cake, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the spider cake, you're like, it's probably the silliest cake you've ever seen. My sister used to be a cake decorator, and so she's way older than me. And so she used to make my birthday cakes when I was little. And one year she was like, what kind of cake do you want this year? And I said, I want a heart-shaped cake with eyes. She's like, okay.
Like, already then?
A heart-shaped cake, and in the little like loop-de-loops of the heart, she put the eyes and a smiley face. She thought, this is the weirdest cake I've ever made. But that's
Oh. Yeah, my brother loves to ask me when I get home. Sometimes he's like, did you make any weird ones today? Because he was fascinated by the printer scanner that we can do and make the edible images.
Ooh.
So those are always cool too. So people can bring your pictures in and all that good stuff. And I told him how this one, right when I first started working at Walmart again, they had a full sheet cake. So like a Costco sized cake. With this kid in his karate uniform doing his karate moves. And my brother thought that was like the funniest thing to put on a cake. He's like, that's so weird. Why would they put the kid in the karate uniform? I'm like, because he likes karate? I don't know. Like, that's what he's like that. But it was so funny to him. He's like, karate cakes for his birthday? That's so weird.
That's so funny how people think differently. My first thought was, has anyone ever given you a picture of their butt?
Most people want funny words, like bad words, I guess, put on cakes. Like, and they're always so hush-hush about it. Like, can you put happy birthday, bitch? And I'm like, sure. And it's like, yeah, can you put like penis breath on this? I'm like, sure. That's what you want. I'm like, alrighty then, here you go. Happy birthday, penis breath. Excellence.
Lizzie, it was either Lizzie or the two other people we were hanging out for my 24th birthday. They got me a cake. It said, happy birthday, ho. It was funny. I still, like, every time I see the picture of the cake, I just die laughing. Like, I can't imagine going in there and be like, can you put ho?
Yeah, right, yeah. It's going to be funny.
Yeah, so what else is new with you?
Not too much new, I guess. Just the same old me, being silly. Except for I tell people this all the time, even though they probably don't care. They're like, shut up about it. I'm like, I'm losing weight. Ha, ha, ha. But every week I go to, actually, my appointment's tomorrow. And me and my friend were talking. She goes, your appointment's tomorrow, huh? I'm like, yeah, I don't think I lost any weight this week because I just ate like half a pan of mac and cheese and like a whole tub of pulled pork, and we went out drinking. So I probably gained like 25 pounds.
I doubt it.
But
I doubt it.
Yeah. Every week I go, I'm like, oh no, I don't think I've lost any weight. I'm never going to lose weight. And then I go, they're like, you lost 2 pounds. I'm like, yay.
It's so stressful on the brain.
Right. But at least I don't think about it. Like, I try not to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I purposely didn't buy a scale this time, because the last time I lost all the weight, it's like I bought a scale and I was on it like 7 times a day.
Yeah.
Like looking, and I'm like
obsessed.
I'd step on. Yeah. And then you'd sit there, you'd get on in the morning, you'd go to the gym, you'd get on when you got back, you'd eat something, you'd go to the bathroom and you'd go on it. You know, every time you walk past it, I would step on it, and I would go on like 6 or 7 times a day, like obsessing if I didn't lose something, you know, or, you know, it's like, so finally I just chucked it. I put it in the trash can. I said, I can't do this.
Good girl.
Because I would just like obsess over about it, and like I wouldn't sleep, because the first thing I'd want to do was wake up and step on the scale to see if magically anything lost, you know?
Yeah. Well, my thing was I had to step on the scale, but it had to be before coffee, I had to be naked, and it had to be after I pooped.
Right? Yeah, you had to do all these things.
If you still have poop in you, then, you know, you weigh more.
Yeah, right, 0.7.
It was so stupid.
Right? 0.017 of a pound.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and then if I had gained anything, I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
I should poop more. Just kidding.
Well, so that's my thing with the whole weight thing is, especially lately, I when I moved back to California, the only thing I wanted was a gym membership. I said, please just get me a gym membership. That's all I want for my birthday and Christmas. You don't have to ever buy me anything again. I don't care. So I did. I started going to the gym, and I got down from a size 26. Then that's what I was in high school, was a size 26 all the way down to a 16. So I'd lost all this weight, and I was keeping it off, and I was so good. And then I moved to the Grand Canyon, where it's very hard to get good food sometimes and to make food, because working in a kitchen is very hard, because all you want to do, you know this, you worked in restaurants and stuff that when you were a kid. You don't have the time sometimes to make it. I was working, you know, especially towards the end when I was working there, I was working 13 days in a row, 1 day off. 9 days in a row, 1 day off. So I was lucky if I got 2 days off in a month, and I did that for 9 or 10 months before I finally said, I can't do this anymore. It's stressing me out too much. And I found another job closer to home. And so you're sitting there working 13, 14 hours days. You get 2 days off. You can't, you know, you don't have time to cook. And when you go home, all you want to do is sleep and find the first thing you can. So, you know, I was eating bread and sugar and all the stuff you're not supposed to eat. And then I'm so tired, I don't want to go exercise. I don't want to go walk around. I want to sit here and veg out and eat chocolate and watch a movie and pass out. You know, that's all I wanted to do. Yeah. So I gained almost all that weight back. You know, I'd lost, you know, over almost 200 pounds. I think I lost like 175, 180 pounds and gained it all back. So like I got super depressed, and I was like, you know what? You lost all this weight. You did so good. And now look what you did. You did it for nothing. So then I got in these bad habits. Like, well, if you're going to be fat, you might as well eat whatever you want and not be healthy. So, you know, I was still doing that and still doing that. And finally, I'm like, you can't do this. You need to be healthier. And my dad had this program that my brother had got through trade. He has his own business, which is a coupon book. And he'll trade, you know, basically for a free ad, he gets some kind of product. So they don't have to pay the full price for the ad. So they'll give him part cash, and then here's the rest in trade for whatever they offer, you know, landscaping. This one happened to be a diet plan. So they said, we have 4 months free trade. And in that 4 months now, I'm on my 4th month this month, I've lost 35 pounds.
Nice.
So I'm like, look, you can do it, you know? But it was mostly in my head. I'm sitting there like, you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, nobody's ever going to like you.
Oh, no.
So it's like, and now I'm trying to tell myself too, because even the ladies at work going, oh, how was your appointment? How much did you lose? And, the last week when I went, I was kind of hard on myself. So, like, I only lost a pound, and I'm really angry at myself. And they're like, why? You lost a pound. You're still going down. I said, yeah, but I've been going back to the gym. And I, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, now that I'm at the gym, I can eat more. And it's like, no, you can't eat more, Amanda. That's not what the gym is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was a little bad on my diet, even though, eating things I wasn't supposed to, having a few more goodies per se, then I'm like, I know better. You're not supposed to do that. So that's why I was mad at myself, because I'm sitting here going, why did you do that? That's negating your whole purpose of doing this. You can't be snacking on the bad stuff just because you're going to the gym. It doesn't work that way. It's like, no, you're supposed to be eating good and not be eating a whole chocolate bar because you went to the gym, Amanda. So it's like,
you're speaking my language right now.
So, all the fat kid problems. Well, yay!
Can I give you some like pieces of information?
Of course, I always love pieces of information.
95% of people who go on a diet and lose a bunch of weight gain it back, and the 5% that keep it off have some sort of disordered eating or eating disorders. So don't feel bad about gaining the weight back, because most people do. If you go on a strict diet, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, like diets. Versus just eating better foods. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then what was going to? Oh yeah, I've learned that weight loss for me can't be the goal. It has to be changing my mind. And like right now, my number one goal is to be freaking strong, like mentally, physically, emotionally, just to be strong and not look at that number on the scale at all.
And see, that's what my thing is too. It's like I go, and even the ladies, some of the other ladies at work that don't work in my area will ask me like, oh, you're still eating really healthy. That's really good, that you're doing that, because I'll bring a salad to work, instead of going out and buying the junk food. So like, oh, you're still eating salad? Like, how can you eat salad for every day for 2 weeks? It's like, because it's delicious. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they'll ask me, they're like, oh, that's a lot. How have you been exercising too? In the first few months, I wasn't going to the gym. I was just walking back and forth at work and making sure I would kind of get my steps in. That's kind of our joke too. I'm like, I have to walk around in this circle because I have to get my steps in, you guys. But they're like, wow, that's really good that you're staying on that plan. And one of the ladies, she asked me, she's like, do you have a skill? Do you like weigh yourself every day? And I told her that story. I said, no, I can't, because I will just be like obsessive over it. Yeah. Because that's probably a good idea. So I said, the only time I weigh myself is when I go to the doctors to see how much I've lost. And that's my thing, and before, like I said, I would just be saying, this is never going to work for me. It's just going to be the same. I'm going to gain it all back. I shouldn't try. So now, I've been telling them too, I said, I can't think negative, because the more I think negative, the more I'm not going to lose weight, So I just have to say, you're going to do it. Even if you lose half a pound, it's still going in the right direction. You can't say, because I only lost half a pound, I'm stupid, or, you didn't try hard enough. Maybe it's just a bad day, or maybe, you have too much water and you have to go pee, or you haven't pooped
or
yet.
You gotta poop.
Yeah, right? So, like, that's what I always tell myself. And I do that too now. I always go to the bathroom before I leave the house to go to my appointment. I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because this water weight, my pee right here, that counts.
Yeah. When I would go to weight loss clinics, I would not eat until after my appointment so that I would weigh less.
Yeah.
So, like taking the number on the scale away from the equation really helps with your psychology and your mental health, because I think that not everybody becomes obsessed over it, but people like us that do weigh ourselves multiple times a day, it's almost more harmful than being overweight.
Yeah, because that's all you're doing is stressing yourself out, and then it's poor mental health
Exactly.
is what I see. It's like, okay, the more you tell yourself that you're stupid, the more
Yeah.
you're going to become stupid. So you're
And
just
I'd rather be
setting
fat and
yourself
happy
up.
than depressed.
Yeah, right? But
and
depressed and skinny.
Yeah.
And, and even my sister and my mom and my stepmom have been doing like super good on weight loss. My sister, we're all the same in this family too. We obsess over some things. And my little sister, I'll be like, you want a piece of candy? And it's not like I'm trying to tempt her to see if she'll say yes.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be like, I can never eat anything like that again. I'm like, Isla, calm down. Like, you can have a piece of chocolate. It's not going to make you gain 75 pounds. Like, you go to the gym 3 or 4 times a day for hours sometimes. I'm like, you can enjoy it sometimes, but she feels guilty. And so does my stepmom. And I'll do it too. We're all guilty of it. We'll have something that's bad for us per se.
Bad.
And then, bad.
I love giving food morality is really funny.
Yeah. And it's just like, then you're sitting there, guilt tripping yourself because I had a piece of candy, or a piece of cake or a bite of something that you're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
But that's why people also have, these issues with losing weight, because the more you say you can't have it, you can't touch it, you can never look at it, the more they want and think about it. And then they eat the whole cake or the whole bag of candy. Yeah. And that is bad for you. So, I mean, that's,
eater.
Yeah. You'd see it and you're like, I can't have it. And then somebody opens it and then it's done. You just eat the whole thing. Yeah. So it's like, that's what I've told my stepmom too. It's like my dad, and we always get on him about buying bad stuff because it's on sale. He's like, I bought 25 bags of candy because it was on sale. I'm like, great. Nobody eats it in this house except for you.
Yeah.
And we're like, thanks. But I'll look at it and I'm like, okay, you can have one cookie. Just one. You can eat it and you walk away. You take it to your room. Don't come back, because then you have to come back out of the room. And that, I'm more lazy than anything. Once I'm in my room, nope, I don't care.
Forget about it.
I don't care if I'm bleeding to death, and I need an ambulance. I'm tired and I'm not getting out of my room. I can bleed to death and I'll die.
Yeah.
I
might get angry notes from my listener, but like you have to tell yourself it's okay to eat what you want every once in a while, because for that reason, like my thing was I would diet all day long and then, restrict. And then I would just go bananas at night and binge.
Yeah, binge eat.
And the last part of my, like, when I was in the worst part of my binging, it was every single night. And I found they have a term for it called the Last Supper syndrome. So, like, you're good, quote unquote, all day long, and then you binge at night, and then in your head you're saying, well, I'm going to start again tomorrow, so I should eat it all now.
Yeah.
So that's what my thing was. I was like eating at night, because the next day I had to be good and I couldn't eat this stuff again.
Yeah, so, or you'd buy the whole bag, and to get it out of the house you eat it so you don't buy it again, but then you go out and buy another one, or someone else does,
Yeah.
So it's like you justify it by, well, if it's not in the house anymore, I can't eat it, right?
Yeah, I got to finish it so we don't have any more tomorrow. That was another thing. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about right now is the work that I'm doing. So, for me, health and fitness is about changing your mind, not your weight.
Yeah. And that's what I've been telling myself every day. And I tell, the ladies when they ask about it at work, oh, when you say, oh, you did this and you did that. And I told them, I said, yeah, I know I'm probably being harsh on myself, because everyone is harsh on themselves when it comes to appearances. And, especially if you like us, we've always been big girls. And when you're made fun of, and you tell, I've always been told, even by my own family, you'd be so much prettier if you were skinnier. So I'm like, so you're saying because I'm fat, I'm ugly?
No.
And it's like
beautiful.
That. Yes, we are beautiful. But like that was our whole thing. Is like, if you just lost weight, you'd be so much prettier. It's like, don't tell me I'm ugly because I'm a bigger person or I'm fat. Yes, I'm fat, and yes, I would love to lose weight, but sometimes it's hard. And when you have that negative on you, that would make me eat more, because I'd be sad and depressed. I'm like, I'm just going to eat because it makes me feel better. And then it's that cycle too, where I just ate all of this stuff and then I feel crapping like a piece of shit because I ate stuff. And then you're like, that just proves I'm right. I'm ugly and I'm fat and I'm always going to be like this. So now I have to tell myself, no, you know what? You did eat bad. You know,
what?
just like I was saying earlier, we had macaroni and cheese and pulled pork and beer and we went out and had fun. I'm like, all right.
Does that mean you starve yourself the next day? No.
No.
You just go back to eating.
Yeah. It's like you just have to
food.
Yeah. Eat your healthy stuff. Don't eat the bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, don't get down on myself. And I have to tell myself, look, if you go in tomorrow and you didn't lose weight and you even gained a pound, you have to try harder. Don't not eat. Don't say, I cannot eat, because that is going to start a bad cycle again.
Yeah.
And I've been trying so hard to say, all right, you know what? You knew that you ate bad. You knew what you did to have your fun. Now be disciplined. Don't say, I can't never have it again, or I can't ever do that ever again.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not life. That's no way to go through life, not having fun. You're allowed to have fun, but just don't do it every single day, because that's not good for you either.
Yeah. It's not about perfection.
Yeah, it's about, you know, health and well-being in general. You know, yes, go out and have a few drinks with your friends. Go, you know, just don't be stupid.
Change your mind. Change the way you think about fitness and health, and the weight will come off anyway.
Yeah.
Because you won't be doing stupid shit trying to make up for, you know, everything we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So.
I have to drink 17 gallons of water today because, you know, I ate a piece of cake yesterday. And that's all I can have is water and dry bread.
I have a funny, stupid story to tell you. Well, you heard the foot story, right? That was a stupid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the other stupid thing, I stopped weighing myself in May for all the reasons we're talking about. Yeah. And I decided that it would be a good idea on Christmas to weigh myself after dinner, after Christmas dinner. I got on the scale and I was like, dang it, man. Again. And then I was like, wait, you dumbass. Why did you just do that?
Right? You literally just ate like 25 pounds of pie. Like,
yeah, exactly. and then you know, I don't weigh myself, and then my foot injury happened and they weigh you at the doctor. And I was like, whatever. And then I was like, in my head, the first thing I thought was, oh, I've lost 7 pounds since Christmas dinner.
And it's your foot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. But it was cool though that I had that instant mental shift rather than spending the entire night hating myself and eating more. I was just like, why did you do that, stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep at it. And when you're at the gym and you're lifting weights, be like, I'm a strong bitch. I'm a strong bitch. Kidding, you're not a bitch.
Well, there's a funny story about that too. You just reminded me of. So when I was living in Phoenix, one of my good friend's moms signed us all up for the gym because she's like, look, we can all, you know, lose some weight. And she knew that I didn't have money at the time. So she's like, you can just be on our family plan because, you know, it was going to be her daughter, her son. And then they could, I think, put a fourth person on there. So they're like, well, let's put Amanda on, you know, because then, you know, you girls can go to the gym and we can all go together if we want to. Because, you know, we all had self-confidence issues at the time, too. It's like because we are bigger girls and you're thinking, no, gyms are for skinny people. And now I'm thinking, no, gyms are for fat people that want to be skinny, too. That's how the skinny people get skinny, because they work out and they go to gyms. But when they're doing the questionnaire with the personal trainers, what made you decide to come back to the gym or come to the gym in general? So, you know, we're writing all this stuff down. And the personal trainer, who's like this big, ripped, like aesthetic bodybuilding kind of dude, he's looking at our answers and he goes, really? Is this your answer? And I said, yeah, read it out loud. And so he goes, why did you want to come back to the gym? And then it said, because I want to beat up boys. And they're like, are you serious? So I said, oh, yeah. I said, I'll put the smackdown on all these boys out here. I said, you make fun of me, I'll beat you up. And I'll be ripped. And I'm like, I'm going to be like you, dude. I'm going to have all these big muscles. And I'm going to beat up boys outside if they make fun of me. And they're like, all right, that's cool. I like your answer.
That's awesome.
Every time, like, I always think of that. Like, why did you want to come to the gym? I'm like, because I want to beat up boys. And
That's
like, all right.
awesome. I want to crush the souls of 10,000 men with my thighs. That was a meme that I saw. It was funny. I don't work out to be thin. I work out to crush the souls of 10,000 men. That's funny. Yeah, it's funny too because, I mean, I know at gyms they feel like they have to look a certain part, but, you know, I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And don't judge the baby fat, yo. I know it's not baby fat anymore because he's 2.5, but I'm like, don't judge this
fat.
baby flap from my C-section and my lack of weight loss. Don't go there. I might jump on a dumbbell and break my ankle, but you know.
Let me show you how strong my feet are. Ah!
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny too because when people take my spin class and either like if I'm subbing or if it's a new person, I feel the looks like, oh, she's teaching.
You're like, what?
Like,
girl?
Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. And then at the end, they're like, oh my God.
Like,
my point is, like,
classes.
it doesn't matter what size you are. You can what's it called? That movement? It's called health at every size. It's not saying you're healthy at every size, but it's saying you have the right to pursue health no matter what size you are.
Yeah, I mean, because you can be this, you know, a size 0 and still die of a heart attack because you don't eat right.
Exactly.
You know, and you can be, you know, 85 and be 350 pounds, but it could be all muscle weight and not fat.
Yeah. So
you just never know what you're going to get.
I was reading this thing about this girl who had anorexia. And as she was losing weight because of her anorexia, people were praising her for losing weight. And it was like, skinny does not always equal healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
But that's just, I mean, it's nobody's fault that we think that way because it started, I think, in the 50s when Twiggy was a model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all they see was this tiny little slender body.
Yeah. So that's when the whole, like, skinny's better thing started. But, yeah, it's nobody's fault.
Because there was an ad, too, and I see them all the time on Facebook that pop up from, like, the 40s and 50s. And it says, like, oh, I used to be a size 2, but with this, now I'm, you know, a curvy 14. And it's like, where did society flip all of a sudden where it was okay to be a size, you know, 14, 16, and now if you're a size 6 or, you know, less, that's what you're supposed to be. And it's like, I have to be skinny to be pretty, and it's like, that's not the way it works. And that's
Twiggy's
what gets me down to. That dang Twiggy.
She didn't mean to. She just built that way, but it really started with her. I learned that actually in my nutrition, when I was studying nutrition. I was like, oh, because I always wondered when this
like, how did that flip?
Obsession of being skinny.
Yeah, a size 0.
Started, especially in the 90s. Like, do you remember in the 90s, like, pancake ass was in?
Yeah, right? With, like, the weird tracksuits.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have the velour tracksuit that matched.
Yeah.
And flat ass. And if you had a big ass, you were weird. And you're like, hey.
I would not fit in.
Right? We're like, well, we're out.
Oh,
now
man.
Big ass is back. I don't know. Yeah, see, and then, like, that's another problem I have with, too. I have a very hard time when people say, oh, you're so pretty and you're so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, you're crazy. Because you're always told, you know, if you're big, you're not pretty. That was my whole thing. Like, I've always been told, you know, if you're skinnier, you'd be pretty, you know. But so now when people say, oh, you know, I love your makeup, or I love the way you look, you know, your hair's so pretty and your outfit's so beautiful, you know, you're just a beautiful person. And I'm just like, you don't really mean that, you know. So I'm always kind of pushing people away when they say, oh, you look so beautiful. I'm like, you can't really mean that. But it's like now, with just as we were talking about the food, you know, if I don't lose weight, I can't be down on myself. I have to start telling myself, like, no, they probably do mean it, because you are pretty. You can't tell yourself you're ugly just because society tells you you don't, you're not a certain way. You're not a certain weight. You're not a certain height. You're not this. You have fat on you, or you have these kind of curves and not like this. And it's like everyone has a different opinion and everyone has a different viewpoint of life. So
Yeah.
I always call it kind of like the Shallow Hal effect. It's like, look how that movie was,
Yeah.
He went from being this dude that only wanted the skinny, beautiful models. And then he had this magic put on him that, look how beautiful this girl is. And so I kind of have to think like that. It's like, okay, think like Shallow Hal. Everyone's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even you.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell yourself that you're ugly and say other people are beautiful, because that's not going to be healthy either.
Yeah. And it's funny because my first thought is like, what the hell are you talking about? You're beautiful. But I get it because I do it to myself. Even like as recently as an hour ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm the biggest I've ever been after having Des. I gained 65 pounds, I think, when I was pregnant, and I've lost maybe 30 of it. I don't know how much I weigh. But the point is, like, sometimes I feel kind of hypocritical because I want to be like, no, blah, 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 and then I'm doing it to myself.
Yeah. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so pretty. But then you go and you look at the mirror and go, oh, God, I look ugly, disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because we see extra fat on us, which is really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, we automatically think you're ugly because you have this role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
because you have the handles and whatnot.
Yeah. So I sometimes feel like a hypocrite, and then I'm like, no, people need to see that I'm going through this too,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because, even though you said that, yeah, I mean, it works the same way, I think, with people with the anorexia and the bulimia, because they see themselves as ugly and fat, and they want to be skinnier and skinnier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's all the same issue. You think you're ugly. And it's like, it's not what other people think. You have to also think of what you think. If you think you look beautiful, then you're going to be beautiful. And if you think you look like you're ugly and that you're trash, that's what's going to happen. You're going to look like trash because you're just going to keep on thinking it, and it's going to go inward out.
Is that
so
why
you
I
have
look like
to
trash today? I'm kidding.
Right? Like,
So I have these black sacks under my eyes.
It's like, God, look at that hideous hair. But that's how I feel. It's like, it's all the same issue. It's just the different variation from person to person.
Yeah.
No matter what. So that's what you have to start thinking positive. And that's what I've been trying to do the last few months. It's like, all right, no, you need to get back on track. Think the way you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way you're going to get there. Even if it takes 3 years, you'll get there.
Yep. The 3 years is going to pass anyway.
Yep.
Right?
No matter whether you're skinny, you're fat, you're short or tall, or, have 17 kids or 0 kids.
Yeah. And that goes back to the idea. We're all different. We're all humans, but we're all different. And we're all the same, and we're different and the same, but different.
Yes.
That was a really interesting turn in our conversation, and I think that just lasted like half an hour. That was awesome.
Right?
Well, it's like, I know it's close to both of our hearts.
Yeah.
Like you said, both of us have been my whole life I've been up and down and up and down and up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It's called weight cycling, and it's really bad for your heart. Well, I have one question for you that I ask everybody at the end of each little chit chat. And that is, if you could give one piece of advice to the world, what would it be?
I would say just live for every day, just wake up every morning and start new. And if it's, try to make it the best you can. But if it doesn't, start it all over again the next day. Live your life one day at a time. So that's what I think. Just wake up every day and try to make it the best you can. And if it doesn't, start it again the next day.
Amen. And sometimes you can start your day over in the middle of your day.
Right? Just take a nap.
Oh, snap.
This is your problem.
Yeah, take a nap. Take a nap.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda McNabb signing off. Until next time.